All right, everyone, we got Coach Mike Leffler here and Kristen Williams. Coach, you want to start with an opening statement, and then we'll open the floor for some questions.
Yeah, more than any other game this year, that one really stung. And yeah, had a big lead, and I thought we came out with a lot of great energy, and we got off to a great start, and that's all you can ask for. You know, we want to put ourselves in position, in those positions, having the lead and continuing to execute. And, you know, there's always going to be adversity that hits, win or lose, you know, any game, any practice. And in those moments, I just thought we kind of reverted back to some old habits, and we gave them a little bit of life in the third quarter. And honestly, we just found a way to lose that game in the fourth quarter, and it really stung. And yeah, I just shared with the team those moments in the end. Kristen hits the two big threes off the sideline out of bounds. Like, obviously, our team was unbelievably excited, energized into those possessions for Kristen and for our team. And I just shared with them, if that's the example I'm looking for, that's got to be at every practice, every game. And as a leader of the program, there's obviously a misconnection. I'm not able to communicate that effectively enough on a day-to-day basis. Like that urgency, how we were into the game for each other, for just, you know, it was just two sideline outs. That's how it's got to be all the time. That's what I want it to be all the time. And if it's like that all the time, the wins take care of themselves. And I hope, you know, our team heard that and understood that walking out of the locker room.
Coach, can you just talk about that final foul call on Steph and what you saw?
Yeah, it was a really tough call for Steph and for our team. And you know, when it happened, it reminded me back to the St. Louis game. Tough call, really on the same spot on the floor against Steph. And, you know, I felt for Steph because she worked so hard each game. And as I shared with the team, I mean, we were up by 15 points. So it didn't just come down to that call. But I thought it was a tough call. I thought it was just players being aggressive late in the game. I thought the officials probably, you know, shouldn't have called it and just let them play. But that's what happens. And honestly, foul trouble has been an Achilles heel of ours each game. I talked to the team about that as well, and we watch that on individual film. We watch it with the team. And again, for me, I just look at that as just a misconnection. For me, I'm not able to communicate effectively enough for our team to understand, one, we can't get into foul trouble and how valuable the players who are getting into foul trouble are, and they need to be on the floor, not on the bench. So we got to find different ways and take steps forwards in that regard.
Kristen, as a player on the court, what do hundreds of screaming children mean? How does that affect your plan?
I think, well, we haven't had fans here a lot, at least. Like, there's been no students here, so I think that them coming, like, really affected. And they get to see, like, when they want to grow up, like, what do they want to be? And they get to see us out there and, like, having fun and doing what we love. So I think that really affects them generationally. And honestly, I love it. Like, obviously, when you make a three and, like, they go crazy, like, that's all you want to hear. So, yeah, they brought a lot of energy to the gym, and they always do. But I think it's more so, like, them looking up to us, more so than anything, yeah.
Coach, can you talk about the role of Alexia Rose tonight? And I see in the fourth quarter she had no points. Overall, she was leading scorer with 18 points. Has that played a role?
Yeah, I think, you know, since she's been back and since the start of conference play, I mean, she really could be a valuable piece for us just in terms of her scoring ability and ball handling ability. And I think it also, you know, helps someone like Kristen out, getting her more off the ball. And I think our scoring had been trending upward, you know, and I think I give our guards and our point guards a lot of responsibility and freedom, and I want them to look for things their own in transition. And I think we just have to continue to keep balancing, you know, when is a good time to really look for my own and then really stay in offense. So I think she was able to she had a great first half, really got to the basket well. You know, I think they changed up some things, and we weren't as aggressive in the third quarter. And again, I think once we miss a couple shots, stop scoring, we go on those droughts, LaSalle makes a couple baskets, and then we just get tentative right down the line. you know, and in those moments, I think we just need to execute better. And that's what I'm leaning on all of our guards to do.
Coach, this is the second lead blown against LaSalle. Is there anything that they did that caused those, or do you think it was more self-imposed?
I mean, they made a couple shots. You know, the one thing that stood out to me is they had 12 offensive rebounds in the second half. And again, like in those moments, I thought we gave up on some plays. And there was some times where we did such a great job helping and cutting off the drive, and they would kick and make the extra pass, and we just stood. And, you know, as much as I'll show that on film, and we've shown that on film, again, we have to change our mentality a little bit and understand what it takes to win. And I think we say the right things and we talk about the right things, but then it's actually going out and doing it. So, you know, they hit some shots, but I think it was the 12 offensive rebounds, and I think we had a lot to do with that, to be quite honest with you. And that's the disappointing part. And I looked out there and, you know, I called a couple timeouts and talked about that, and that's where I'm really leaning on our team in those moments for someone to step up and say, hey, we got this. You know, and we still need to grow in that regard, and we have a month to do it.
One more for Coach or Kristen?
Yeah, kind of piggybacking off the Alexia question, she played almost the entire game, and then there was like a stretch from the 5.5-minute mark in the fourth until about 19 seconds where she was sitting on the bench. Was there a specific reason for that as to why she was, you know, sitting down in the most important stretch of the game?
Yeah, I thought the 5 on the floor were the 5 that gave us the best chance to win the game at that time.
Great, thanks everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, Kristen.